What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to record for beginners. So like if you've never been on Pro Tools before, you never recorded before, all you have to do is follow this video and you will guaranteed be able to easily record in Pro Tools. It's really not complicated. I'm going to start with Pro Tools completely closed, and we're going to start from there. So imagine you just got Pro Tools, it's in your dock, or it's in your it's in this space right here. First thing you want to do is first obviously open up Pro Tools. So we'll do that real quick. All right, so we're going to start a brand new session. Okay, and we're going to call this beginner session setup. Sorry, I'm all over the place right now. And let me just take this off my drive and put this right here. All right. And we're going to start with no template. Make sure you put it in the correct place for your storage, like where you want the session to be. Mine's on my desktop right now, but if you have like a SSD or something like that, you can put it there. Make sure your file type is WAV. Sample rate can be 48, 41, 44.1. I would not recommend going higher than that. We got bit depth, 32-bit float, 24-bit, 16-bit. I just stay on 24-bit, and I use last used for my IO settings. And then just make sure inner leaves checked, and don't check anything from template. And we hit create. There's the session right there off to the side, and right now it's creating the session. So make sure if nothing pops up that you hit command and then the plus or equal. It's a key right next to the backspace, and it has a plus sign and a equal sign on it. You hit command and then that key, and then it opens up for you. You can hit full screen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out the tracks for you, and I'm going to show you exactly how to build them. So we go up here to tracks and we hit new and do exactly what I do. Okay. So we need a place to put your beat. We need a stereo audio track. We're going to label this one as beat. Don't click anything yet. We're going to go boom, and we're going to do another one, a stereo audio track, and we're going to label this one low pass filter. Okay. Next one, we need some audio tracks for our audio. So we're going to do a mono audio track, and we're going to do simple lead vocal. Very simple. And you can make this 2 of these. So instead of 1, make it 2. Now you have 2 lead vocal tracks. Next, we're going to do a lead vocal bus. That is a stereo aux track. Okay. Then come over here and name it lead vocal bus. You need something for some ad-libs. So we'll make this. You don't have, it's a mono audio track, and we'll put ad-lib. And then again, we'll make 2 tracks. We'll make 2 tracks for the ad-libs. What you're going to do is you're going to make another stereo aux, and you're going to come in and you're going to label this one ad-lib bus. Next, you need a place to sum all of this stuff together. So we're going to make a mix bus. It's a stereo aux track, and you're going to label it mix bus. Cool. We're going to rearrange these whenever we actually get into the session, but we have a mix bus now. Now we need a reverb and we need a delay. Okay, we're going to keep it super simple. So another stereo aux track, label this one reverb, and then do one more stereo aux track and label this one delay. We also need a mono audio track, and we're going to call this one the record track, so we have a track to record on. All right, then you can hit create. Now we are presented with all of these tracks. We need to organize them. In order to they're all highlighted right now. So in order to select one of these tracks, hold command and then click this one, and then click it again without holding command. Then you have just selected a single track. You're going to drag this one all the way up to the top and then put it under the beat and low pass. That'll be right there. Make this track red. This is your record track. This is where you'll be recording your stuff. I tend to make this one a little bit smaller than the actual beat track, the low pass filter. And in the comments, I'll actually put low pass filter right there just so I remember. So basically, this is your beat, and then this is your low pass filter. When you need an underwater effect, you cut the beat and you drag it down here. Then we have 2 lead vocals, and I selected both of those by holding shift and then clicking on both, and then double click over here on the color and make it whatever color you want. If you want your lead vocals to be yellow, make them yellow. Then you have a lead vocal bus. So the way that I the way that I tend to do things is I keep my vocal buses the same color. So for my vocal buses, I tend to do bright green for my actual vocal buses whenever I'm like in my real template. And then for the ad-libs, I'll leave them this color, and then we'll make the beat like a purple color, right? Cool. So now we have a mix bus. We're going to drag this all the way to the top. This stays at the top. Double click and you can hit none, and that makes it black. Now we have a reverb and a delay. I like to make these ones a bit smaller so I know that they're sends. And then what we're going to do, I always make my my sends baby blue. It's just always the color that I pick. So now we have a session setup. What you do is you come up here to the top track and you click it, and then you hold shift, scroll down, and click the top or the bottom track while holding shift. That lets you select all the tracks. Then, and this is for the keys or for Mac, you're gonna hold shift and control, which is the key next to command. So on your keyboard, you have a space bar, then you have command, and then you have option. That will be the next key after that. And I have my keyboard set to where I have a Windows keyboard, but I swapped the keys so it's like a Mac. So command comes first next to the space bar, and then option. Sorry, it's a very confusing thing. So you hold shift and option, whichever option is for you, but it's option. So hold shift and option, and then come up here while holding it, and you come to these and hit no input. Okay, and then just make sure your output is set to your main like output path, whatever your speakers are or your headphones are, make sure it's set to that. Now we're going to start routing everything properly. So we have 2 lead vocal tracks here, and they need to be routed to this lead vocal bus. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the output of these to the lead vocal bus. You can do this one of 2 ways. You can do one at a time and just click it, or you can hold shift and option while both of these are highlighted. Okay. And you can come down to track and come down to lead vocal bus. Okay. When you click that, it'll turn this one into lead vocal bus because that's what it is. And then now these 2 are being sent to this vocal bus. The reason we're doing this is because depending on how powerful your computer is, you don't want a bunch of lead vocals and ad-lib tracks with a bunch of plugins on them. A vocal bus is very necessary. And all it is doing is you put all the plugins onto this track right here, and then it makes the effects happen for all of your lead vocal tracks. That's the easiest way to describe it. That's most non-confusing. It's like the most simple way to possibly explain it, and it makes so much sense. Same thing with the ad-lib bus. You want the ad-libs to connect to the ad-lib bus. So I'm going to do both at the same time, but you can do one at a time. I'm going to go here to track, and I'm going to go down to ad-lib bus. Now our ad-libs are connected to the ad-lib bus. Cool. All right, so now we're going to do the reverb and delay. So both of these are already set to 0 automatically. So what you want to do is go to the lead vocal bus here. Go to A, go down to track, and go to reverb. Leave it at 0. Now, for B, you want to go to track, delay. Leave it at 0. We'll feed those as we go. For the ad-lib bus, same thing. So now you have tracks for your reverb and your delay. So what's happening here is these are auxiliary sends. What's happening is these tracks are being sent to the ad-lib and the vocal bus. You don't put reverb and delay on the actual vocal unless you're doing like an effect. Just follow along, and I promise we'll make it through this. Anytime you need reverb on your lead vocal, right, you come here and you would bring this up until you hear the reverb. Cool? Same thing with the delay. But for the record track, we also want reverb and delay. So for the record track, go down to reverb. For B, go down to delay and have that there as well for your monitoring. Cool. We're getting there. Now, the next thing we got to do is we have to send the beat and the low pass filter to the mix bus because that's where that goes. For the output of the beat and the low pass filter, you come here, go down to track, find the mix bus, click it. Same thing for this one down here. Track, find the mix bus. And I also forgot to add one track. So after the mix bus, you want a master track. So go into track, go to new, go to stereo, and then go here to audio track and hit master fader. And then you can change this to, I'm only rechanging the name so I can make it all uppercase, and hit create. Now you have a mix bus that is going from the mix bus to the master track. This is where you put your loudness meters, and this is like the final place where all the volume happens, okay? Everything is routed correctly. Make sure it says no input on your actual individual audio tracks that are going to the bus. So a couple things before we start. If you are about to try to record and it doesn't work, there's a couple things that you want to do. First things first, you want to go up to the setup window here and you want to look at playback engine and make sure that your audio interface is actually the selected playback engine. If it's not, scroll down here and select it, hit OK, and then hit OK again. And then this will open back up. For the buffer size, pick 128 or 64 for the buffer size. So I'll go with 128. And then hit OK. So now you're pretty much ready to record. First, we need some plugins, obviously, for the vocals. So what we're going to do is go to the record track, and we're going to pick some plugins out here. The first thing we're going to need is some sort of EQ, right? So just type in EQ, find a cool EQ. This is the stock EQ that comes inside of Pro Tools. So literally, no excuses. Hit the in button right here. Change this octave to like 18 or 12. And slide this into about like 110, 120, maybe a little further back, depending on how deep or thin your vocal is. Like, you're supposed to feel it out. Now, for the first module right here, we're going to select bell, and we're going to move this over here, right? And we're going to bring it down. And we're just going to make a little dip here right around 200, 213. I know that's where my voice is going to be honky. We might even just increase the Q to like 1.4. Now, there's going to be another frequency around here that's going to be like a resonant frequency. So we're going to use this orange one, and we're going to slide this over to around like 400 right there. And we're going to use the Q around 1.4 again, around there, and we're going to drag it down right around there. Now, this is just a general guess, just a starting point. Don't think that this is like the magic key right here. Like, this is just a starting point. It's a really good starting point, but it's just a starting point. Leave this stuff alone, especially for this part. Don't even mess with these last few. This is perfectly fine for a recording, so leave that like that. That's our first plugin. We're gonna need some compression, or actually, let's go with some de-essing first. So the de-esser that I'm gonna use is the Waves de-esser. I think it's like $30 or something like that. You can go get it. It's normally on sale too. I'm gonna drag this down to about like 26, around there. I'm gonna drag this number down. Around like 5195 feels good to me, just for like a recording start. We'll check it when we actually start recording. So now we'll add a compressor. I'll add the BF76 as the first compressor. This is a stock compressor if you have Pro Tools Studio. I'll put the attack up to around like a little past halfway, and the release as fast as it goes. And then I'll move on to the next plugin. The next plugin we're going to use, we'll go ahead and use the BF2A, which is another stock plugin. And we'll go ahead and use this one for the leveling of the vocal, right? So we have one for catching the transients, which is the 76. And then we have one for leveling the vocal out. Okay, I think it's time to drag in a beat and see what we can do with that. So I will go to File. I will go to Import, Audio. Click. Okay, so I'm going to bring in this beat. This is a beat that I made. Instead of adding it to a new track, go ahead and hit Clips List and then hit OK. Off to the right, you're going to see your mouse, before it hits the complete end, you're going to see it change shape to this like arrow, this double-sided arrow. And when it does that, click and drag this over, okay? And it's going to open this window. And there will be housing your beat that you just imported. So you're going to drag this to the beat section right here. Notice that it splits it two waveforms for the left and the right. This is a stereo track, so it's supposed to do that. Go ahead and drag this closed again, and now your beat is here. First thing we have to do is get the tempo of the beat and the key to the beat, and if you're using AUTOTUNE. And actually, if we are using AUTOTUNE, I'll show you how to do that as well. So first things first, we need the key to the beat. I like to use something called TuneBat, or I have an actual thing that costs money. It's called Mixed In Key. If you want to spend $50, get Mixed In Key. It's incredible. But if you don't, if you need the free thing, you can always go to TuneBat, which is right here, and you can get the key to the beat pretty simply. Let's go to Key BPM Finder, select, and then we'll go to that same beat that we just had. So we'll add this. It's a C major at 70 BPM. If your session's like this and you don't know how to get back to the other window, there's two different ways you can do it. You can actually go up here to this window right here, and you can select your mix or edit window, or you can use the key command, which would be Command and then the plus and equals button. Now remember, it's 70 on the BPM. That's 70 or 140 depending on what you want to do. So to keep it simple, I'm just going to select 70 and hit enter. If you notice, we're not exactly on the beat, right? So this is the quickest and easiest way that I tend to find to get the song on the beat properly. So we're close, but if you zoom in, we're a little off. So over here, make sure this button right here is highlighted blue. It's called tab to transient. Now, when you zoom in, you're gonna notice there's a little bit of space, and you zoom in with R and T. So when you click right here, you just click anywhere on the beat. It doesn't really matter where you click. Zoom in, and you're gonna find a little section right here that's a little bit ahead of the actual line right here. You're gonna hit the tab button on your keyboard, and it's gonna bounce you to that first transient. Then you're gonna hit B on your keyboard. In grid mode up here, all you have to do is drag this to the line. It snaps to the line, and now the beat over here on this side is on beat perfectly. Now you hold command and you drag the last bit of the beat that was over here that was off beat, and you drag it over. Now the whole beat is on beat. Now no matter where you click, there will be a downbeat, right? So like if I click here, let me hear if it's gonna, you hear how it's a downbeat? Right here, if you click here, it'll be a downbeat. Right here, it's a downbeat. Right now, stop and hit Command S, or go up here, go to File, and hit Save Session. Make sure you do that a lot because you don't want this to drop out after you just did all this work. Now it's time to actually record a vocal. All right, so now it's time to record vocals. I have connected my mic to the record track. All you do is go here to the input, go to interface, and select whether it's input 1 or 2, wherever your mic's connected. So I'm using this mic right now. It's connected. I would normally use my actual recording mic, but we don't have that luxury right this second. So we need to take a look at the plugins. So first things first, we have this plugin right here. Make sure that you're not going too hot into it. And it's really just the EQ right here. We're just EQing. So if you were to bring this over here like this, you would hear way less of the vocal. And then you bring it over here, you hear more of the weight of the vocal. I think I'll cut mine off about right around like 90 hertz. Cool. So now we have a de-esser that is overreacting right now to my S sounds. It's going way past 6 decibels. I like to keep it under 6. So we'll draw this back just a little bit, and then we'll hit the S chain. There. And now, whenever I say an S sound, it's going to reduce it by a lot, but less than -6. You don't want that thing slamming down like at all. You want it to just drag the S's out a bit. The next plugin is going to be the BF76. So the way that you do this is you drive the input. We already selected for attack. We already selected the release. So we're dragging the input until we're getting about -3 to -4 dBs of gain reduction on like our loudest parts. So like right here when we're getting super loud, that's perfect. Now bypass and do a level check. The way you do a level check is you go here, look at the level that you're creating right now. If you're going right above -6 right here, and then when you turn this on, you should still be right above -6. If you're any louder, you should turn it down or up, depending on where you're at. Now, keep this up and do the same thing for this one. So check the peak reduction, draw that thing out there. That's way too much. You want it to be about 3 dBs of gain reduction, maybe a little more on the loudest parts. So like right around here is probably perfect, just to level the vocal out. And actually, I'll add a bit more. Yeah, perfect. Now we're gonna bypass it, and here's what the vocal sounds like right now. Yeah, 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 yeah. All right, and then unbypass it, and you can hear, yo, 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 yo. There we go. All right, so now, once you have level matched all of your gear, I have everything at the correct volume. What you want to do is you want to turn down your beat. So you can go up here and you can go to the stock plugin. It's called Trim, and open that up. Slide this down to -10. That's normally good for a YouTube beat. You can adjust it, but it's normally perfect around like -10. And then hold Option and drag this down to the second one right here. So this is here. And then for the low pass filter, you're using whatever you want for the low pass filter. For me, I use 1 knob filter to drown out the beat. Come down here to 1 knob filter, stereo, and I set it on 5. So then if I bring the beat, right? So if I take this section of the beat and I cut it with B and then drag it down here, right? And then you can come over here to the waveform thing and you can put it to, oh, I'm sorry. Go to the 1 knob filter first, hit this square right here, hit filter, add, okay. When you go over here to this waveform thing, you can go down here to 1 knob filter and hit filter. Now it's set there. So if I need to do a sweep, you hit command, click, let go of command and drag it up. Now you have a sweep. Now listen to what that sounds like. You made it. Awesome. We're doing this so simple right now, and it's working perfect. So now we got to record some vocals. So let's record some vocals. Let's say you want auto-tune, right? Drag these down, and we can put an auto-tune right here. All right, so the key to the beat is C major. So we'll go C major, and I'm gonna crank the retune speed because that's what I do. Yeah, 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 yeah. So now we got some auto-tune. Now for the auto-tune, you don't put the auto-tune on the lead vocal tracks. That's not where you put that. Hold Option, drag it down to the individual vocal tracks. Then after this, because you don't want the auto-tune responding to multiple tracks at once. Like, you never want that. You want it individually. So the next thing, hold Option down, and you're gonna drag the EQ down here to the lead vocal bus. Then hold Option again, de-esser, hold Option again, BF76, hold Option again, BF2A. This is just the plugins that I picked. Remember, you can pick whatever plugins you want. You're gonna do the same thing again for the ad-lib bus, but I'm gonna keep it moving. We're ready to record. We have our plugin set, we have our volume set. Normally I record a little bit less hot than this, a lot less hot, so I'm coming in about over -6, and I'm not even being loud right now. So I'm gonna take my input and I'm gonna turn it down. Yo, 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 yo. I wanna be right around -10. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then like I can get loud if I need to and spike it without having to worry about clipping. And I'm just gonna play the beat and I'm gonna show you how easy it is. The way that you record, make sure you're up here in quick punch. So right click and make sure it's in quick punch. Then come down here to the beginning and hit the number pad on your keyboard. And that's how you record. Okay. If you don't have a number pad, just make a quick Google search to figure out what the other key is. There's another way to record. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. But everything's set up now and we're ready to go. Let's record. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me move this closer. Yeah, yeah. Whoa. I don't have no pop filter. Yeah. I'm rapping into a mic with no pop filter. Yeah, yeah. Alright, cool. I know it was ridiculous what I said, but we had to make some lyrics. So now that you've recorded a lyric, right? What you want to do is you drag it down to the first lead vocal track. You can listen to it if you want, or you can just keep moving on. But I normally cut these like little gibberish ones, and then you can hear it back. Yeah, yeah. Whoa. I don't. And make sure you're being an engineer too. Make sure you're looking at your plugins and just looking at stuff. Yeah, yeah. Whoa. I don't have no pop filter. Yeah. I'm rapping into a mic. So check it out. I just made an adjustment to the lead vocal. So what you want to do is hold Command, Shift, and C to copy, and then go back up here to the record track, right? This is important. Click it, and then hit Command, Shift, and V. Now I have that setting copy here, so I don't have to keep like mishearing things. Like both sound the same and they sound good. So we have a vocal here. Now, when it's time to record the next vocal, right? Oh, and if you notice, if you ever have this happen to you, this is because you clicked E. Just click it again. And then put your fingers where they belong, R and T. Zoom in. You want to hit the next bar. You just go up here and then you hit 3. No pop filter. I am recording the next bar so everyone can see how to record on Pro Tools. Yeah, yeah. Alright, I'm not gonna keep going like that. Take this one. You cut the N. Everyone know about A and S. A is to cut to the left. S is to cut to the right. Cool. So we're not going to be cutting to the right, just to the left. You're going to drag this down to the second lead vocal track and then listen back. No pop filter. I am recording the next bar so everyone can see how to record. So now we have a lead vocal. Now we need an ad-lib, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take these same plugins and we're going to hold Option, drag them down to this track here, right? To the ad-lib bus. And now you're ready to record ad-libs that fast, right? Let's go ahead. Oh, and another thing. I just completely forgot. I can't believe I forgot this. For these lead vocal buses, these go to the mix bus. So go down to track, and this is on the output right here. I completely forgot to do this. Go to the track and go to mix bus for the lead vocal bus and the ad-lib bus. I completely forgot to do that. Go to track, mix bus. Yeah, make sure that's going there. I'm tripping for not doing that. Okay, now let's record some ad-libs, right? Super simple. We'll start at the beginning of the song and we'll just record ad-libs. Yeah, yeah, low wop. Yeah, yo, yeah. I don't have no pop filter. Yeah, I'm rapping into a mic with no pop filter. Yeah. Whoa, no pop filter. I am recording the next bar, so everyone can see how to record on Pro Tools. Yeah, on Pro Tools. Yeah. Song coming out heat for real. This is what I do. When you're done recording this right here, you can either drag it down to the ad-libs or you can hit X. Okay, X deletes it and copies it. So delete, copy, and then the key that's underneath the P, but it's not L, it's the one to the right. Just click that until you get down to the ad-lib one, and then hit Command V. That pastes it. It's quick. But we need to make them ad-libs, right? First things first, we have no auto-tune there. So drag the auto-tune down to the ad-lib tracks, and then after that, on the individual tracks, go to your, just look up EQ, go to the EQ7 band, put this one in, change the octave to like 18 or 24, something like hard, the furthest one, and then bring this into like right over like 1K area, and then for the output one, hit it in, change the octave to 24, and bring this bad boy in close to like where the line is like crossing over 10K. Even a little closer than that, for real. Like right around like here. Make it look just like mine. And let's listen to what it sounds like before we just assume. Yeah. Too much. So bring the frequencies back. Allow a little bit more of the low end in, and allow a little bit less of the high end in. So I'll bring that back a little bit more. Let's see what that sounds like. Yeah. Low wop. We'll bring a little bit more of those high frequencies back in. Yeah. Low wop. And then with this green module right here, we can even do a little dip right here above those high, harsh 3K frequencies. Yeah. Low wop. You hear how that sounds? Really nice. We'll drag it down to this one too, just in case we end up needing it. But now we have a lead vocal and an ad-lib track, and this was all very simple, right? The ad-libs are going to the ad-lib bus. The lead vocals are going to the lead vocal bus. The buses, these two buses, are going to the mix bus right here. The beat and the low pass filter are meeting the vocals at the mix bus, and the record track is the record track. You delete this when you're done recording. Now let's go ahead and add some reverb and delay, right? So first things first, we need to go down to the reverb and add a reverb plugin. So I'll go over here to reverb, and we'll find a nice reverb. I'll use Deverb since it's a stock version. And we're going to make a small plate. We're going to bring the decay time up to like 17 milliseconds. Low pass filter, we'll bring that down to like 10K around there maybe. And leave the mix at 100% because it's on a bus. And then for the decay time, we'll have to decide that, but let's just listen to what the sense is. They also have tons of different things here. You know what I mean? Like, check this one out. You could just click a preset, and then you're good to go. So you can get out of this right here, and then go up to right here on the lead vocal bus reverb, and just listen to what it does. It could be dope. It could be weird. Just keep trying. Yeah. Low wop. Yeah. I don't have no pop filter. So just enough to where you can kind of like feel it and hear it barely. So also for the ad-lib, we're going to do some reverb for the ad-lib as well. So pay attention right here when this comes in. And you can add a little bit more reverb to the ad-libs. And if anything, we might change the reverb and add a second one for a different sound. So like for the ad-lib vocal, we might want to drown it out a bit more and we might not want to use a plate reverb. So for now, let's just listen to what it sounds like. Yeah, low. That sounds great. Now let's go ahead and do the delays, right? So go down here to delay, go to the first insert, go here, go to delay. We'll go with aerodynamic delay. It's like the one that everyone uses, right? So we need to make like a 1/4 delay, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring the low cut up to around like 200 and the high cut down to around like 10K. I'm going to bring the feedback. I'm gonna leave that where it's at, but I'm gonna change the delay time to a 1/4 delay. Maybe that's it. Yeah, I think I found it. Okay, there we go. I got it. Yeah, so 1/4 is just it says 4 right there. I don't know why, but so bring it down to where it feels good, but you can hear it. And if you don't want that much echo, what you can do is you can come in here to the delay and you can change the feedback. You can bring that down a bunch if you need, and it'll make it less. And you can even add a little delay to the lead vocals too, just a little bit though. I don't have no pop filter. Yeah, I'm rapping into a mic with no pop filter. Alright, now what you want to do is you want to come to the beat here. You want to go to EQ. I just type in EQ, and you want to go to EQ 7-band stereo, okay? And you want to find a notch where the lead vocals are sitting, and you want to kind of give them a bit of a space. So let's go ahead and find a nice space for the vocal. It should be like right around like 3K, maybe like 4K. Take a quick break and save what you've done. But like, this is really how you genuinely start a song, and then when you want to record, you just on Pro Tools, yeah. I'm about I'm about to wrap up this video. I appreciate you for watching. On Pro Tools, yeah. So I'll cut it right there, and boom, right there. On Pro Tools, yeah. I'm about to rap, and I'll turn the output gain down. Pro Tools, yeah. I'm about to wrap up this video. I appreciate you for watching. But I'm not wrapping the video. We still gotta do the mix bus. So for the mix bus, we had to do some processing to the whole song, right, to make it sound awesome. So first things first, we'll go to EQ, and we're just gonna make some slight notches. So you can kind of, I'm only doing this based off of what I've like listened to and like just known. So I'm gonna try to find the mud in it. It should be like right around here. And I'm gonna boost this mid frequencies right here and kind of get those. So this is a quick little thing right here. You can also that sounds cool. Now also, if you need your vocal to cut through a bit more, what you can do is you can add another EQ to the lead vocal, and all you have to do is just bring this up a bit, right? So let's find the lead vocal here, right here. Yeah, I'm rapping into a mic with no pop filter. Right, like just fine. Yeah, I'm rapping into a mic. Like that's an aggressive bit right there. But I'm just showing you how you can just like bring the presence out. Yeah, I'm rapping into a mic with no pop filter. Yeah. Whoa. No pop filter. I am recording the next bar. So wanna could see how to record on Pro Tools, yeah. On Pro Tools, yeah. You see what I'm talking about though, like it's all starting to come together super fast. So, and just so you know, for the mix bus, you don't touch the mix bus, turn anything on until after you're done recording because it'll cause latency. Let me switch back to my regular mic. So we basically have a song. So let's say I'm done recording, right? I don't need the record track anymore. I'm certain I'm not recording anymore. I'm gonna delete that. It's in the way. I don't have no pop filter. Yeah. So the next thing we can do is we come in here to dynamics and let's use this stock compressor. This is a stock compressor, right? And we are going to set the ratio super low, okay? Like 2, okay? We're gonna bend the knee a bit so it's soft. Attack time, we're gonna put it to like 30 milliseconds, around there. And for the release, we're gonna put that, we're gonna have to listen and just hear what it's doing. So like, let's go ahead and play. I don't have no pop filter. And if you see right here, the more you increase the threshold, the more gain reduction we're getting. We only want about like 1 to 2 dBs, like nothing. I don't have no pop filter. Yeah, I'm rapping into a mic with no pop filter. Yeah. Whoa, no pop filter. We'll bypass it and we'll make sure it sounds level. I don't have no pop filter. Yeah, I'm rapping into a mic. Cool. So that's some EQ and some compression. Okay, and then for our limiter, we're gonna use something called Maxim. It is a stock limiter inside of Pro Tools here, and we're gonna set the ceiling to -1. So none of the transients can go above -1. In the digital domain, 0 is flipping, right? You want to be below that. So, and then we're gonna drive the threshold. And we're gonna look for about like 2 to 4 dBs of attenuation. I don't have no pop filter. Yeah, I'm rapping into a mic with no pop filter. Yeah. Whoa, no pop filter. All right, and this is like a super beginner tutorial on how to record inside of Pro Tools. So in order to actually get your song, what you want to do is go up here to track, new, and then just go to hit create, skip everything and hit create. Drag this track up to the top right here. This is where we're gonna make our session know how much we need to record, right? So click on the part of your beat that's the end of it, right? And then go over here to the beginning while in grid mode. Get as close as you can to the beginning, hold shift and click. Now you've selected the entire region of the song from the beginning of the beat to the end of the beat. Then what you want to do is you want to hit P on your keyboard, P, all the way up to that top track, and then stop. Now you're going to hold shift, you're going to hold control, and you're going to hit the 3, not your numeric 3 on the right, the one up top. Now what you did was consolidate a track, and you don't have to do it like that either. What you can do is while this is highlighted, go up here, go to edit, and hit consolidate clip. Now you have a clip that is the exact length of your song. So now anytime you want to bounce the session and listen to it, just go up here and click this. To bounce it, you click this so it knows that to record this entire length of the song. You want to go to File. First, Save Session, then come down to Bounce Mix. This is the name of the song. You can put Mix 1, whatever you want to do, right? If you want an MP3 file, hit MP3. If not, whatever. Make sure it's in the bounced files, which it'll probably already be, and then hit Bounce. Now, when it's done bouncing, you have created a complete song in Pro Tools by yourself with just a few different plugins and a few reverb and delays, and it sounds great. I'll play the song back one more time so you can hear it. This glorious song we made, so let's play it. I don't have no pop filter. Yeah, I'm rapping into a mic with no pop filter. Yeah. Whoa. whoa, no pop filter. I am recording the next bar so everyone can see how to record on Pro Tools, yeah, on Pro. And then look, for this part right here, I will use the low pass filter again right here, right? And I'll just drag this down. And just for this one bar. On Pro Tools, yeah, on Pro Tools, yeah. I'm about to wrap up this. And I just made a little hook right there. On Pro Tools, yeah. If you want to make a dot, you hold Command and click, and it makes a little dot, and then you can. On Pro Tools, yeah. I'm about to wrap up this video. I appreciate you for watching.